After a rare extended period in which President Donald Trump stayed on message ahead of the Republican push to overhaul America's tax system, Senate Majority Mitch McConnell says he's warming up to the tweets. Mr. McConnell made the comments at a Washington news conference after the tax vote, which marked the first major legislative victory for Republicans in the year since Mr. Trump became president. Regarding the president's tweeting habits, "I haven't been a fan until this week," Mr. McConnell said, when asked about how his relationship with the president has evolved. "I am warming up to the tweets." Those tweets have put Mr. McConnell in the crosshairs before. The president was highly critical of his fellow Republican over the summer when congressional Republicans failed to repeal and replace Obamacare, also known as the Affordable Care Act. At the time, he demanded that Mr. McConnell work on both the health care bill and the tax bill. The relationship between the two further soured in August, when Mr. McConnell said that Mr. Trump had excessive expectations for the speed with which Congress can pass major legislation. "I don't think so," Mr. Trump tweeted in response. "After 7 years of hearing repeal and replace, why not done?" Donald Trump appeared to equate U.S. foreign actions to those of Russian President Vladimir Putin, saying, "There are a lot of killers. You think our country's so innocent?" Reuters/Carlos Barria. At the National Prayer Breakfast, Donald Trump couldn't help but to ask for prayers for the ratings on Arnold Schwarzenegger's show to be good. Schwarzenegger took over as host of The Apprentice, which buoyed Mr. Trump's celebrity status years ago. AFP/Getty Images. Early in his presidency, Donald Trump reportedly hung up the phone on Australian Prime Minister Malcolm Turnbull after the foreign leader angered him over refugee plans. Mr. Trump later said that it was the worst call he had had so far. Brendan Smialowski/AFP/Getty Images. Perhaps one of his most controversial policies while acting as president, Donald Trump's travel ban targeting predominantly Muslim countries has brought him a lot of criticism. The bans were immediately protested, and judges initially blocked their implementation. The Supreme Court later sided with the administration's argument that the ban was developed out of concern for U.S. security. Brian R. Smith/Getty. After Hurricane Harvey ravaged southeastern Texas, Donald Trump paid the area a visit. While his response to the disaster in Houston was generally applauded, the president picked up some flack when he gave a speech outside Houston. He reportedly did not visit disaster zones, and praised the size of the crowds there. AP. During his first ever speech to the United Nations General Assembly, Donald Trump tried out a new nickname for North Korea leader Kim Jong-un, Rocket Man. He later tweaked it to be Little Rocket Man as the two feuded, and threatened each other with nuclear war. During that speech, he also threatened to totally annihilate North Korea. After the attack on the London Bridge, Donald Trump lashed out at London Mayor Sadiq Khan, criticizing Mr. Khan for saying there was no reason to be alarmed after the attack.